Well, what is up, you guys? And today, this is going to be a tutorial on how to speedrun King Dice on regular aim percent. So let's get right into it. Alright, so the loadout you're going to be using is Charge, Spread, Super Up Free, and the Whetstone Charm. And the mini bosses that you're going to be doing are Chip Spedigan, Pippin Dot, and Mangosteen. So that means the numbers that you're going to want to roll are 248, 248. Okay. There we go. Alright, so step number 1, the heart patterns. So basically what I mean by the heart patterns is that you're at least going to need 2 hearts on the King Dice mini bosses you're going to be fighting. Chip Spedigan, Pippin Dot, and Mangosteen. Which, as I already said, it will be 248. So that means you have to at least get 2 hearts on one of those numbers. So like, an example, what I got in the video, I got hearts on 2 and 4. So that means I'm good, I can continue. And yes, you can do this with only 1 heart on one of the mini bosses, but it's just going to be a lot more trickier if you do it with only 1 heart, so I'd recommend if you just do 2. And sometimes, if you're lucky enough, you'll get a perfect heart pattern, which will be 248, and all the hearts will be on the spots where you're going to land at. So, yeah. If you get that, you're really lucky. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to add this in the last recording, but if you get a pattern where you get no hearts at all on the mini bosses you're going to be doing, I would just retry, because those hearts are going to come in handy later, so just retry if you don't get the hearts that you need. Step number 2, how to speedrun Chip Spedigan. So pretty much, Chip Spedigan has tons of patterns that you can do when he attacks. I don't know how many exactly there are, but I know there's a lot. So yeah, just want to give you a heads up. Be careful what I do here, because sometimes you might accidentally get hit by a poker chip or miss a charge shot. So yeah, let's get into how to beat him now. Alright, so while you're moving the Chip Spedigan, aim a charge shot upright, and then after when you get the Chip Spedigan, Whetstone and release a charge shot at the same time. Then, Whetstone about half a second later, and then release a charge shot again. And then, move away for a bit, and Whetstone and release a charge shot at the same time. And when he's about to attack, make sure to jump if there isn't a poker chip in your way. If there is a poker chip in your way, it's most likely going to hit the poker chip, and you're probably going to have to reset. So yeah, make sure it hits his hitbox. And while he's attacking, keep shooting charge shots, and when he gets to the ground, shoot charge shot and Whetstone at the same time, and then shoot another charge shot and Whetstone at the same time, and he should be dead, and he should beat Chip Spedigan in about 15 seconds. Who cares when it's Whetstone shots, whatever. Yeah, that Whetstone shots, whatever. It was just whatever. Step number 3, how to speedrun Pippin Dot. Now I'm just saying, Pippin Dot is probably going to be the hardest one to optimize. It's mainly because there's something that you need to do later that might take a while to get used to. So yeah, in the meantime, let's get into Pippin Dot. Alright, so what you're going to want to do first is move close to this spiky platform, and right before the ground's about to move, jump, and then release the charge and Whetstone at the same time. And then, Whetstone about a half second later, and then release the charge shot again. And keep repeating this process until you hit about 4 EX cards. Once you hit 4 EX cards, I'll explain once we get to it. Alright, so now we're at 4 EX cards. You're going to Whetstone, and then release the charge shot at the same time. And then damage boost in her hitbox, and quickly switch the spread. And then keep aiming the spread shot up and downwards. And then you should only take about 2 to 3 hits. If you take 4 hits, then you're just going to have to retry, because you're going to have to damage boost later into the fight as well. And also, use 1 spread EX, and then you should be able to beat them easily. That was pretty good. I feel like the spread and Whetstone thing in your hitbox could be better, but still. I think I have enough to shoot an EX soon. Oh, no. I'm gonna go for it. gonna take my risk and go for it. Step number 4. How to speedrun Mangosteen. So in my opinion, Mangosteen is probably the easiest mini-boss and probably the easiest boss in your speedrun. So you should have no problem getting bypassed him while speedrunning him. And now anyways, let's get into Mangosteen. Alright, so how to speedrun Mangosteen. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is hold the charge shot and then whetstone. And then release the charge shot when you're in his hitbox and quickly switch to spread. Then keep whetstoning as fast as you can. And the first laser ball I think he shoots out, just like walk over a bit and then whetstone and then like keep shooting spread and then you should be able to dodge it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look what I did. Because what I just said, I will admit, is kind of confusing to understand. Anyways, just keep whetstoning as fast as you can, and then damage boost around the end of the fight where the chalk, or the blocks, are in your area. If they're in your area, just damage boost. Because you should have 2 HP left. And if you only got 1 heart, just try to dodge it. And then anyways, you should be able to do Mangosteen. Yeah, that was kind of unnecessary. I would say that was still pretty good. So I can't do the EX on. Step number 5. How to speedrun King Dice. Now, in my opinion, King Dice is the second easiest boss to That guy is very disrespectful. I'm gonna keep that in the recording, though. Anyways, in my opinion, King Dice is the second easiest boss to speedrun, in my opinion. So, yeah. And there's a trick that you can do, and you pretty much need to do. We don't necessarily need to do it, but it's easier if you just do it. And I'll show you in a couple of seconds. Alright, so basically what that trick is basically, after when King Dice spawns the parryable dice that you need to roll your mini-bosses, wait about a half a second, and wait for the number 1 to go by. I mean, you can't really see it, but after when you get used to it, you should be able to predict it. And then, when you wait about half a second, parry the dice immediately, and after when you do that, it should either be a 2 or a 3, which will take you to the finish line. And that means King Dice is going to be stuck in his hand animation where he's spawning dice. And then after that, release the charge shot and quickly switch to spread, and then use Super Art Free, and activate Super Art Free. And then after when you activate Super Art Free, whetstone, and then aim the spread up and downwards until you hit the floor. And then switch back to charge, and keep using charge until his super despawns. And then after when his super despawns, oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. Make sure that you aim the super around where his Tifa at. Because if you do that, after when the super despawns, you should be able to parry the heart. And after you parry the heart, choose spread EX. And then go on the cards and keep parrying the cards while aiming upwards with spread. And then after like a couple of cards parried, he should be dead, and then you should be able to beat King Dice with a good speedrun time. And I think that's actually 147. Wait, how was that a 145? Oh, we got it. Let's go. That did not feel like a 145. I really thought that was a 147. Let's go.